My name is Bjorn Cumps. I'm a professor and partner at Vlerick Business School, and I am the program director of the Global Executive MBA program. Typically, what we see for any of the Vlerick MBAs that we have at the school is that there are three major components or three major building blocks. The first one is a strong focus or a track if you want to focus on leadership. A second one is a strong entrepreneurial focus. I think this is probably the most important one because we are really seen as an entrepreneurial business school. This is what is in the DNA of the school. And this is what you really feel throughout the program and in all of the courses. And the third one is what we call a bias for action, is that this is every MBA that we have is really focused on experiential learning, in putting the knowledge into action. We have a saying at Vlerick, we focus on putting knowledge into action and putting action back into knowledge. And that collaboration between those two is a really important one. And I think these are the three most important building blocks because, of course, we are focusing on future leaders, people who are ready to take that next step, people who, have already had a certain trajectory, followed a certain trajectory in their companies, but need that extra boost to become a future leader, but want to do that with a hands-on approach and being an entrepreneur or intrapreneur in their organization. Those are the three main building blocks of any Vlerick MBA. I think what is unique at Vlerick is that you will be able to have or to make your MBA. It is not just a product or a program that we offer to you. You will be able to tailor it. You will be able to really mold it into your own MBA program. And you will feel that throughout the different parts of your learning journey. The moment that you apply for the MBA, which is really a one-on-one experience that you will get, where we listen to you, where we really think about, is this the right time for you to do the MBA? Why are you doing this MBA? How does it fit into your career path? And how can each of the different formats that we have, which is the optimal one, and how could it optimally fit into the journey that you're pursuing at this moment. But also, while you are in our classrooms or online, you will feel that our faculty are very approachable, listen to you. During the sessions, after the sessions, in the breaks, you will be able to come with your specific situation, the specific projects that you are working on. And we have very approachable faculty that will, more than happily tell you how a certain theory or model or things that you've discussed in class, how that fits your specific situation. And the most important part about that tailoring is probably the fact that you will be able to choose up to 5 courses, elective courses, that fit your program or your ideas the best. If you want to focus on digital transformation because this is at this moment highly relevant for the situation that you are in, then that is a possibility. If on the other hand you say, well, I'm really want to make a next step in my career where I want to focus more on sustainable business models, sustainability, we have a set of electives focused on sustainability. So we have 4 different specialization tracks, and we have a large pool of electives. And that means that everybody can select up to 5 electives and really tailor-make your specific MBA program. And I think that is a really strong point about the Vlerick MBA. The Global Executive MBA, or the GEMBA program that we have, is a program that is built on top of a program that we have run for several years called the European Executive MBA program. And that program was our most international program. It was focused on Europe, and it was our most flexible program. Now, that second part we kept. We do listen to what we hear from our participants, and that flexibility is becoming increasingly important. So our global executive MBA is still our most flexible one out there, because you have the mix between online modules, live online sessions, self-paced sessions, and in-person sessions. Next to that, we did feel the time was now to switch from a European focus to a global focus. A lot is changing in the world. The global context is becoming increasingly important, not only the European one. So this is by far our most international program. And those are the two things that differentiate this program from the other programs that we have in our portfolio. I honestly believe that there's no better moment to step into a global executive MBA. As I said before, this is our most international program. And I would say no time like today to really bring in whatever learning journey you're stepping into, the geopolitical view, because a lot is changing. And it is increasingly important not only to focus on content, but also on context. And that is what we're doing in this program. You know, you could have people looking at the same topic, the same concept, but if you study this from a European point of view, or from a US point of view, from an African point of view, or an Asian point of view, looking at the same reality could all of a sudden be bringing a very different angle. And that's an added value. And that's why being immersed in different locations, really feeling how important that specific context is to study business concepts, that is a true added value of the Global Executive MBA. And I think that's the first very important part. Secondly, that flexibility is very important for a lot of professionals today. Combining a learning journey like this with your professional life, which already puts a big strain on your work-life balance. Well, we try to build a program which makes it as easy as possible for you to combine that with your professional life. So you have the flexibility to follow the modules online, to do that at your own pace, self-paced, also to connect with your online fellow students in live online sessions, but also to be immersed in different locations. But that part needs to be live, person to person, within that specific context. So I think you have the best of all worlds combined in this program. Our Global Executive MBA has, next to the base courses, those are the courses which are online, self-paced, live online. Those are the courses where we establish the basic concepts, where those are the traditional MBA courses, I would say, where you learn strategy and finance and accounting. All of these concepts need to be established, and anyone going through an MBA program needs to have that same baseline and that same lingo, and needs to be able to reason and form an opinion about all of these courses. But next to that, we go to 5 different locations. So these are our 5 international immersive trips. So Brussels and Paris are the European ones. Those are fixed. Next to that, we have the possibility to go to Silicon Valley, to the US. From an innovation and entrepreneurship point of view, that's of course still a very interesting location to go and visit. And then again, the flexibility starts, because also in our international locations, we offer the possibility of choice. So then students can choose whether they go to Singapore or whether they go to South Africa. 2 different contexts, but both focused on leadership. And then in the final module, well, it's not the final module, but it's our most international module, I would say. This is we joined as a school. We joined the GEMBA consortium program, which is a consortium of international business schools who exchange modules in their global executive MBA program. So not only will you break away from your own environment and go to an international location worldwide, because these modules are spread all over the world, all of the different continents, but you will also break out of your own cohort. That means only small groups of 2 to 3 people will travel to different locations, and you will meet people from other business schools. So not only will you break away from your location, you will also break away from your cohort, and this is perfect to build an international network. People will spread out all over the world, do their modules in different locations, and then return and come back to their cohort to exchange practices, to exchange ideas, and to exchange their network. And that is, I think, one of the major strengths of the international aspect of the Global Executive MBA. We've built this very carefully. So there are 3 components that make this blended format, I think, ideal for busy professionals. First of all, there is an important part of the courses who are self-paced. That means you go through that whenever you want. If you have a busy work-life balance that you need to manage, you decide when you follow the courses. There's a deadline, of course, at what moment you need to be finished, but you go through those modules at your own rhythm. Secondly, there's live online sessions. Those are typically once a month during the weekends. And there people can interact, because that's, of course, what you miss a little bit. We do enable in forum discussions, etc., that in the self-paced part people already interact, but true interaction also with the faculty happen in these live online sessions. And there we bring together some of the concepts, further deep dive through breakout rooms, etc., into some of the more complicated discussions. That is those are the live online sessions. And then next to that, you of course have the international modules. As we said, 5 modules, but spread over 18 months. So that makes it manageable for anyone who has, on the one hand, to manage their career, and on the other, also want to expand their horizon through the learning journey that they choose to do when they follow an MBA. So we try to make it as manageable as possible. 10 hours a week of going through the self-paced modules, once a month, those live online sessions, and then 5 international immersive trips over a period of 18 months. I think the best profiles are people who have a strong interest in what is happening not only locally in their home base, wherever they are from, but also have a strong interest in what is happening internationally, who have that global view on the world, who also aspire a more global career later on, or at least have a focus or an interest in what is happening internationally. If you ask me, that could be anyone. That doesn't need to be one specific profile, but anyone who shows the interest to look at business and the business landscape from different viewpoints, from different cultural settings, and who also needs that flexibility and is not able to always come to campus. So again, the combination of that flexibility and that strong international view, and also that ambition and that drive to actually be immersed into different settings and to have a different lens to look at the same problem or issue, those are typically the profiles that would benefit most from a program like this. I think one of the biggest added values is, of course, the network that you build, which will be an international network. First of all, well, you go to all of these different locations, which means that you will also build a network way more internationally than people in another program. Not only networking with other students, but also networking with other faculty, with other companies, because of course these immersive modules that we build are very much, as I said before, action oriented. The way an international module is set up is it is biased for action. That means a bit of theory, and most of the theory has already been covered in the self-paced modules, but then it means putting it into practice, going out there and seeing how companies are doing this and how companies are dealing with some of these issues. So by visiting these companies, you're also building your international network. You're also seeing how in an international context, how the same issues are tackled differently by different companies. So I think that is a very strong asset. This is a big advantage if you have that track record going back into the job market. That's a first important one. Secondly, is that you will also be able to, of course, network with other students through the module which the global consortium, the GEMBA consortium, where you break out of your own cohort, where you go to completely different locations and meet completely different people from other business schools, not only your own cohort, but also from other cohorts. So the international network that you will build is completely different and is a very strong added value for people in the global executive MBA. Well, it is, of course, an important one because not a lot of schools have this triple crown or triple accreditation. Only a handful of schools have that. And that means that we have been audited 3 times at least for our quality, not only in research, but also in teaching and also in building our learning journeys. So I think that this is a good validation of the strong basis and the high quality that we have at the school. But I'm even more proud of the Financial Times award that we won, specifically for this program. And it was awarded for the way that we have built these immersive modules. More specifically, that module is the Paris module and has a strong focus on sustainability, a specific topic where we combine the strengths of the location where we are with the different companies that we visit. And this was seen as a very innovative approach because this is really focused on action-based learning. That's why we got this recognition, because we in first part of the day, for example, we give a bit of theory. In the afternoon, we go to a company. The students get a challenge, have to solve that challenge, and have to present that back to the company and get feedback from that company. So this is really what we call kind of like an action-packed pressure cooker approach. But at the end of the day, you really know how to do something. And one day you have seen a theory, listened to how a company deals with it, applied it yourself, and have gotten feedback from that same company. And that action-based approach is what got us that Financial Times award. And we're very proud of that. And I think that also shows that we don't only have high quality programs and that we are a high quality school, but that we're also able to innovate in our learning journeys and that we constantly adapt and update all of our modules.